Hey guys, it's Bitcoin Schmitcoin here with another update for Bitcoin Magazine's video analysis. We'll be starting on the weekly time frame, working down to the daily, and concluding on the 4-hour time frame as we look at our macro and micro market structure. Over the weekend, we made a new high. We cleared the high of 9,100, and now we're kind of sitting just above it at 9,200 at the time of this video. We can see we overtook this bearish candle, and this green candle formed what is known as a bullish engulfing, and it basically means that the whole body, wick to wick, engulfed the previous bearish candle's body. Keep an eye on this band of prices as we look a little closer. This block of prices here is going to be of particular interest to us as we keep in mind our market structure, because during 2018, there are going to be a lot of people that bought this top, maybe a lot of people who bought here and rebought here, and they're going to be looking to break even. So as we zoom in closer, we'll start to see that the price structure is still pretty volatile, even though we did break a new high, because there's tons of people that have been underwater and maybe they're looking to sell here. But when we look at our daily structure, it doesn't look half bad. We see this slow drift I was talking about for several videos. And ultimately, we saw just a grinding move upward, and then finally an explosion of movement caused by people getting stopped out of their shorts. We saw really high volume, but what's something that's kind of concerning right now is the fact that we saw this high volume, but the candle spread is pretty narrow. The candle body is narrow. We saw a long wick on top. It took out the high, and now we see this. It's called a high effort, low result situation. We're in this blue band of prices I discussed a second ago, and now we can see that we're starting to see some selling interest take place. When we look at our 4-hour structure, there is another round of selling going on. We can see that there was a high volume sell on our previous 4-hour candle. That doesn't mean that we're going to completely reverse, but it does mean that we need to start looking for a potential entry on a retest. Unless the bulls really kick it into gear here, it's potentially going to be a retest sort of situation. The first immediate level we would look to retest is going to be this band of prices here at 8,600 to 8,500. This was where people shorted this impulse. This is where they got stopped out, and the people who haven't gotten stopped out yet, this is where they're going to be looking to break even. So, as I've explained in several of my videos before, that we really want to look at a reversal structure where short and long interest have a combined bit of pressure, right? So in our situation, we would see people that didn't buy the breakout look to buy a retest. So we have a bit of selling buying pressure there, and then combined with people looking to break even on their shorts, maybe even trying to take profit if they shorted up here. This makes for a nice logical bouncing spot. If this zone of support fails, well, then we can expect to come back down and retest our weekly band of prices. I would be pretty surprised to see this just blow straight through it if we did get a pullback. This was a long held point of resistance. It was resistance, and now that we've finally broken through it, maybe we'll see a final retest on this thing. Something else to consider is that on our 3-day Bollinger Bands, we do see a reversal setup called an M top. And you can just think of it basically like this. We've got this envelope of volatility, which is the Bollinger Bands themselves. And then we see the swing high, and we see a second swing high. But the second swing high is inside the Bollinger Band. So if you're familiar with any sort of price divergence with RSI, it's a similar sort of situation, but this is a specific setup called an M top. It would confirm if we close below this wick. It would give us a nice SFP setup, but this 3-day candle opened up on June 15th, so we still have a day and a half left for this close. Just something to keep an eye out. If this does confirm, we can expect the immediate price target to be this midline, and you can see that the midline kind of climbs up. So maybe by the time it confirms, it would be somewhere up here, and so we'd get a retest down here. It's a moving price target. It's not a stationary one. But Bollinger Bands are a very powerful tool and something we definitely have to keep an eye on. Moving back to horizontal levels, when we look at the current market structure compared to the previous market structure being this consolidation that broke out, we see a lot of similarities here. We see two tests of the top of this channel, 1, 2, and then ultimately the second test yielded a retest at the bottom of the channel. And then we, of course, see this slow grinding move upward, followed by an impulsive move upward. And that's what we saw here. So we saw a slow grind move upward, and then ultimately it broke out. But what we see is this retest of the impulse breakdown, which is just this guy here, this dotted line. And we see that it hammered it a couple of times, which also coincided with the midline of this channel. So nice confluence there. And that would be the target where if you're a little bit more patient, that's where we would be looking to eyeball some longs here, because we see a lot of similarities here. We broke straight through a lot of levels without any retests. And that's not to say we have to have retests. We definitely don't. But given the level of supply and the lack of a clean breakthrough of this upper boundary, and we're still chopping, it wouldn't surprise me to see us come back down here and reassess the market structure there. But so far, we're making higher highs, we're making higher lows. The market structure is bullish. There's just a couple of obstacles we need to overcome. And those are the levels we need to keep an eye out for. If we reject this level here, well, then we're definitely going to come back down here. And if we break this $8,600 level, well, then we can keep an eye out for this $8,100 level, because that is on the weekly time frame that was of particular interest. And that would be a nice support resistance flip there. But yeah, don't be too eager to long a breakout, because otherwise you could easily be offside. But if you keep your wits about you, there's going to be some great potential long opportunities here.